We feast on everything, yet we are starving to death. We split the atom and raised towers of glass, but the soul still shivers in the cold. Why does having it all feel like holding absolutely nothing? The answer lies just beneath the noise. We murdered the world the day we decided to measure it. It did not happen with a bang, but with a quiet, deadly shift in how we see. We told ourselves a lie, that only what can be weighed, counted, or dissected is real. Everything else, beauty, honor, the holy tremor of the heart, was dismissed as a ghost in the machine. Look at where this has left you. You sit under the cold blue light of a screen, scrolling through infinite information, yet you have never felt more lost. Before this great mistake, the universe was not a factory of dead atoms. It was a symbol. A tree was not just wood, it was a sign of life reaching for the light. The night sky was not empty space, it was a ceiling painted with glory. But we stripped the mystery away. We treated the world like a corpse to be autopsied, and then we wondered why it stopped speaking to us. This is the root of your exhaustion. You are trying to live in a flat world, but your soul was made for deep water. You can measure the pills that numb the pain, but you cannot measure the grief that demands them. We broke the mirror that reflected God, but the shards are still cutting your feet, reminding you that something is missing. To find it again, we must learn to see with different eyes. We killed the mystery to feel safe. We took the bird apart to find where the song comes from, and we were surprised when we found only blood and bone. The music stopped the moment we touched it. This is the tragedy of the modern mind. We demanded answers for everything. We wanted a God we could measure, weigh, and predict like the weather. So we built a world of steel and glass, where nothing is hidden and nothing is holy. Look at the device in your hand right now. It promises you connection, knowledge, the entire world. But it cannot give you peace. It feeds you data, but starves your soul. We traded the deep, dark forest for a fluorescent office. We traded the terrifying presence of the divine for a safe idea. And now, we are bored. We are anxious. We are drowning in facts, but dying of thirst for meaning. The mind wants to conquer, but the heart wants to surrender. By making everything explainable, we made everything small, too small for the human spirit. But there is another way of knowing. It does not happen in the head. It begins when you close your eyes and descend into the cave of the chest. Are you brave enough to go into the dark? We killed the invisible world, and now we are terrified of the silence. Somewhere along the way, we decided that the universe was just a clock, a giant ticking machine made of dead matter and cold laws. We stripped the sky of its watchers. We chased away the spirits to make room for the calculator. But if the world is a machine, then you are nothing but a ghost in the gears. They told you that you were a biological accident, a random collision of atoms with an expiration date. You were taught that your sadness is just a broken wire in your brain, and your love is merely a survival instinct. This is the great lie that broke the West. We banished the monsters, but we lost the guardians too. If there are no demons hunting you, there is no hero inside you waiting to rise. If there are no angels guarding you, there is no one to catch you when you fall. You are just meat in a cage. So you stare at the screen, scrolling through the noise, trying to drown out the emptiness. You feel the weight on your chest at 3 a.m. You treat the fever of the soul with distraction, but the cure never comes. The machine cannot love you back. But what if the silence is actually listening? What if the war never ended and you just stopped fighting back? We have mastered the world, yet we are strangers in our own skin. Look at where you are right now. The room is warm, the belly is full, and the black mirror in your hand offers every pleasure known to man. Yet why does the silence scream so loud? We built a cage of gold and wondered why we couldn't breathe. This is the great paradox of our time. The softer the bed, the harder the sleep. When the body has no burden to carry, the soul crushes itself under its own weight. You feel it at 3 a.m., don't you? That hollow ache in the chest that Amazon cannot deliver and Netflix cannot numb. It is the intruder in your mind, the whispering lie telling you that you are alone, that this numbness is all there is. We tried to fill an infinite canyon with finite toys, but the toys break, and the canyon remains. We are drowning in shallow water. When the hands are idle, the inner sickness begins to feast. We thought freedom meant having no chains. We were wrong. True slavery is being ruled by your own comfort. But what if this crushing weight is actually a knock at the door? There is a way to turn this poison into medicine, but it requires you to do the one thing the modern world forbids. You are not scrolling to see the world. You are scrolling to hide from yourself. The blue light in your hand is a digital drug. It numbs the sharp edge of the day and pushes back the heavy questions that come when the lights go out. We are terrified of the silence. In the quiet, the intruder in your mind speaks loudest. It tells you that you are not enough, that you are running out of time, that the grave is waiting. So we swipe. We flood our eyes with bright colors to drown out the darkness inside. It is a frantic attempt to forget that we are mortal. But the fever of the soul cannot be cured by a screen. You wake up tired, your thumbs sore, your spirit empty as a dry well. The noise of the world is not an accident. It is a wall built to keep you from your own heart. Deep down, you know the distraction is failing. The pain is still there, throbbing beneath the digital skin. What if the silence is not your enemy? What if the very thing you run from is the only place where you will finally catch your breath? To find peace, you must first stop running. The ancient way teaches us how to stand guard at the gate of the mind. But to learn it, you must be brave enough to put the device down. You are full, but you are starving. You scroll through the blue light at 2 a.m., looking for something to numb the noise in your head. Why is it that the more we consume, the emptier we feel? We chase the next paycheck, the next lover, the next hit of dopamine, thinking this time it will be enough to stop the shaking. But it never is. There is a terrifying geometry to the human soul that we have forgotten. Your heart is an infinite abyss, a deep trench carved out for something vast. When you try to fill that endless canyon with finite things, money, power, fleeting pleasure, they simply fall into the dark and vanish. It is like trying to fill the ocean with a teaspoon. You will exhaust yourself long before you make a difference. This is the root of the panic you feel on Sunday evenings. It is not just anxiety. It is the echo of a finite object hitting the bottom of an infinite soul. The fever of the soul comes from trying to make small things do a massive job. We are breaking under the weight of our own hunger. But this ache is not a defect. It is a compass pointing to the only thing large enough to finally make you whole. We were promised that killing God would make us kings. Instead, it left us as orphans in a cold universe. There is a specific heaviness that settles in the chest when you realize you are the only one looking out for you. It is the weight of the world. Saint Sophrony spoke of this as a hell of despair. It is not a punishment inflicted from above, but a prison built from the inside out. You feel it when the screen glows blue at midnight and you are still awake, searching for a feeling you cannot name. This is the fever of the soul. We tried to sit on the throne, but we found the crown too heavy for human heads. You are crushing yourself. When you try to be your own source of light, you eventually burn out the wick. Then the shadow of a thought creeps in. Is this all there is? That whispering lie steals your peace while the city sleeps. But this despair, as sharp as it feels, is not the end. It is a signal. The crushing weight is actually gravity trying to pull you back to reality. You cannot fill the void with more noise or more ambition. The cup is broken. So, what happens when you finally stop trying to hold the ocean in your hands? You are trying to turn a waiting room into a permanent home. You gather clutter to build a fortress against the dark, forgetting you are merely passing through. We polish the brass rails of a sinking ship, convinced the shine will stop the rising water. It will not. A deep, scratching anxiety wakes you when the world is quiet. You try to drown it with noise and light, desperate to kill the silence. Yet silence is the only honest guest in the room. Like a traveler in a hotel for one night, you tear up the carpet to lay marble floors. We obsess over comfort in a place designed to be temporary. When the walls do not feel right, you believe you are broken. The world calls this dissatisfaction a glitch to be numbed. It is lying. This pain is not a disease, but the echo of a memory you cannot reach. It is homesickness. You are in exile, wandering a foreign land, wondering why the food here leaves you starving. The world breaks your heart because it is too small to hold the weight of your soul. Yet this crushing disappointment is a gift. The hunger proves you were made for a different kind of bread. You have been told a tragic lie about the very skin on your hand. We endure days of cold light, convinced that this flat, gray existence is all there is. Dead matter. You were taught the universe is a machine grinding in the dark, and you are a ghost trapped inside. But in the silence before sleep, you know this is false. The despair you feel is not a malfunction. It is homesickness. Understand that the world is not a wall, but a window. The bread you eat is not mere fuel, but a letter sent from a place you cannot see. Matter is not a cage for the spirit, it is a temple for it. Do not despise the physical realm. Water is not just fluid, it is a memory of the river where the old world was washed clean. Every stone vibrates with a presence that waits for you. The divine is not far away. It is hidden in the common things you touch. If you treat the world as dead, you will feel dead. But treat it as a vessel, and the heaviness lifts. True escape is not fleeing reality. It is entering reality for the first time. To see the fire inside the stone, you must first quiet the poisonous thoughts in your mind. You are starving to death with a full stomach. You scroll through infinite feeds, you consume endless content, but the hunger in your chest only grows sharper. It is a gnawing emptiness. We have stripped the world of its soul, leaving only cold atoms and dead laws. We act as if this life is merely a waiting room for the grave. But what if the physical world is not a cage? What if it is a veil waiting to be lifted? In the ancient rhythm of the service, we do something radical. We take the ordinary, a piece of bread, a cup of wine, common things, cheap things. We lift them up out of the mud of history, and the Creator answers. He does not destroy the bread, He enters it. The mundane becomes miraculous. The gap between the unapproachable God and your fragile body vanishes. This is why you are tired. You are trying to live on bread alone. But here, matter becomes medicine. The very thing that connects you to the earth, eating, becomes the thing that lifts you to heaven. You become a carrier of the divine fire. The gray world cannot crush you when you carry the source of life in your veins. But this fire is heavy, and the winds outside are strong. How do you protect a flame in a hurricane? We run from pain, yet it is the only thing that truly wakes us up. You scroll until your eyes burn, desperate to numb the sharp loneliness within the silence. But comfort is a cage. Ancient wisdom knows a seed must be crushed in the dark earth before it can ever see the sun. Your suffering is not a mistake. The world claims trauma is meaningless, an accident to be silenced until you feel nothing. They are wrong. Think of the cross. It is not merely an instrument of death, but the key unlocking the prison of the self. Pain can break you, or it can break you open. When the weight of tomorrow threatens to crush you, a choice remains. You can flee into shadows or stand in the fire. The flame burns away your masks, leaving only what is real and cannot die. It hurts to be born. As iron submits to the hammer to become a sword, you must endure the struggle to find strength. Poisonous thoughts scream that the darkness is permanent, but a secret light lies hidden in the wound, waiting to emerge if you dare to wait for the morning. We built rockets to conquer the void, yet we are terrified of the silence between our own heartbeats. You scroll through the infinite feed, searching for a signal that never comes. We split the atom, yet when the screen goes black, panic sets in. Stop looking at the stars. They are cold and cannot love you back. The real frontier is not Mars. It is the vast, terrifying country inside your own chest. A secret war rages right now behind your eyes. A poisonous thought creeps in, telling you that you are alone and the burden is too heavy. This is the intruder within. You must descend. Drop your mind into your heart like a stone falling into a deep, still well. The ancients knew that looking outward is a distraction from the burning question. Who is in here? The kingdom is not a place you go when you die. It is waiting right now, buried beneath the noise of the world. But the gate is guarded by your own confusion. To pass through, you need a weapon sharper than intellect and older than time. Do you want to know what it is? You have everything the world promised, yet you have never felt more alone. The blue light of the screen burns your eyes at 3 a.m., a cold, artificial sun that offers no warmth to the chill in your chest. It is heavy. The whispering lie in your head tells you that this numbness is permanent, that the crushing weight of tomorrow is all that remains. But the shadow only proves the light exists. We are not calling you to a new idea, but to a forgotten reality. There is a way to stand guard at the gate of your heart, to silence the intruder, and to find the stillness that sits beneath the noise of the traffic. It is closer than your own pulse. Do not mistake this for comfort. It is a battle, but it is the only battle that leads to peace. The darkness is real, but the fire that burns without consuming is stronger. This is the cure for the fever of the soul, sharp as cold water and solid as stone. Return to the mystery. If you are ready to drop the chain that binds you and breathe true air for the first time, watch what happens when we stop speaking and start living.